This is not an unboxing review video of the new OBSBOT Tiny SE AI-powered PTZ Full HD webcam. It's not. It was going to be until I used it to create my last two YouTube videos and decided anyone who's on the fence about starting a YouTube channel or creating content like I was just 6 months ago needs to hear this message. Stick around for the most honest unreview you will see for the OBSBOT Tiny SE. To be absolutely clear and transparent with my viewers, OBSBOT did send me this camera, but they are not paying me, and I am not contractually obligated to say nice things. So if it was garbage, I would tell you. Honestly, I only agreed to do it because I thought the claims made for this product at the $99 price point were too good to be true, and I figured I'll get it, I'll play with it, and then my son will have a new webcam to play with. Problem with that is, I got it, I played with it, recorded 2 YouTube videos with it, then the realization hit me that if I would have had this a year ago, I would have started YouTube much sooner. I started my channel in August of 2024, about 6 months ago, after months of putting it off because I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on equipment. I finally made myself start with a webcam that I already had laying around. And after a couple of months of some success, I thought, well, naturally, I have to buy a real camera, right? I gotta step my game up. So I dropped $700 on a camera designed for vlogging, getting out and creating content just to plug it in and use it as a webcam. I got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 because YouTube told me to, and it's a great camera, but I'm not using it what it was designed for. So that's where the OBSBOT Tiny SE camera comes in. It will now replace my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 as a fixed camera for shooting my YouTube content, and I can use the DJI for what it was intended for. And I honestly can't tell the difference in quality using the out-of-the-box settings for both. This is my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 with out-of-the-box settings. This is the $99 OBSBOT Tiny SE AI webcam, out-of-the-box settings. Now, I'm not a photographer or a cinematographer or whatever. I'm an auto settings kind of guy when it comes to camera equipment because my videos are about the message and not the visual quality. So I use my DJI Pocket 3 on auto settings, and I have the OBSBOT Tiny SE on auto settings. And for me, when it came to starting a YouTube channel, I made every excuse in the world I could before getting started, just like I'm sure you have. There's always something you need to take care of first. There's always some reason why you can't get started. Well, having an affordable camera is no longer an excuse. My first several videos were recorded using a webcam. Okay, enough about me. I just wanted to get that message across because I just wanted you to know I'm not showing you this camera because I'm making some kind of a massive profit off doing so. I've actually integrated this into my YouTube workflow, and we'll be using this moving forward. Let's jump into the cool stuff. So the OBSBOT is a 1080p at 100 FPS camera. Additionally, it can capture 720p video at an ultra-high 120 FPS, offering even greater motion clarity for fast-paced action. This enhances motion clarity, ensuring the fast movements are captured with precision. It's alive. It features exceptional low light performance due to the 0.5-inch stacked CMOS sensor, which captures more light along with 2 million effective pixels for reliable image quality. We can easily test this. This is the OBSBOT Tiny SE in low light settings, which is very common, especially if you're using this for streaming or that type content. Usually you'll have low lighting in a streaming type environment. And as a comparison, this is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 in low light. Now it does have a larger CMOS sensor, but again, it's a $700 camera and not a webcam. Well, it's not technically $700. I paid $679 for the creator combo, but I don't know anyone who would purchase this camera and not get the creator combo. Absolutely worth it. I know someone was gonna fact check that in the comments. Now let's talk about the really cool stuff. So the AI auto tracking with auto zoom. It's equipped with a 2-axis gimbal and powered by AI. It offers 3 tracking modes: body part tracking, hand tracking, and zone tracking. Let's check it out. Why is that helpful? Well, if you're a small creator like me, it opens up a new area of opportunity to take different shots while moving around. Let's pretend like I had something very important here on this display to show you. let's say I had to come to this side of the room because I was doing something real important over here. When you're a small creator like me, you don't have a fancy cameraman following you around with the camera. Now this is the normal tracking. I'm going to show you the really cool thing that I like. So in addition to normal tracking, where essentially the camera keeps up with your face, this one also has hand tracking. So I can tell it to follow my left hand. That is super cool when you're doing review style videos, or for me, when you're doing tech style videos, the camera follows your hand. For example, if I was working on a laptop right here, the camera is following hand movement and not face movement. Super cool. This is left hand tracking. You can also change it to right hand tracking, so the camera will follow my right hand. We can go back to normal tracking. It also has the body part tracking and zone tracking, so you can track within a certain zone and the camera will stay within that zone and not follow you out of that zone, things like that. They have the body part tracking, which isn't particularly useful for me, but if you are a creator like on Instagram, TikTok, maybe you show fashion, clothing, that type of thing, this would come in super handy. So we have upper body tracking, where essentially it's tracking my upper body. We have close-up tracking, which nobody needs to see my mug that close up. We have headless tracking. Yeah, in case you wanted to check out this very nice plain black shirt that I'm wearing. Then we have lower body tracking. And I don't know why anybody needs this. The only thing that I could assume is like if you're a fashion model, you're showing off clothing. I don't know, not for me, but I certainly like the normal tracking, and I especially love the hand tracking. This is the one I'll use the most. Okay, it goes beyond the movement tracking. We also have gesture control to improve ease of use. So instead of pressing buttons or adjusting the camera over and over again, you can now simply put your hands up and the camera will follow you automatically. You can even zoom in and out with a hand gesture. Let me show you how that works. So another thing about me is I'm lazy. I like to set my camera up and leave it and not have to constantly make adjustments, zoom in, out, rearrange it, go move it to this angle, move it to that angle. And so the hand gestures make this camera perfect for me. For example, so you can automatically zoom with an L-shaped hand gesture. If you want to do a dynamic zoom, you can do this. And the camera lets you zoom in and out. Another thing that you can do is you can turn on and off the AI tracking with a single hand gesture. So that's turn the AI tracking off so the camera doesn't follow me now. And then with a single hand gesture, I can turn it back on. So now the camera is tracking me again. Now let's talk about the sound quality. Now probably if you're a creator like me, you're going to use some form of external microphone. However, if you're using this OBSBOT Tiny SE as a webcam for Zoom meetings or Microsoft Teams or a use case like that, then you may want to use the internal microphone. So let's test it out. This is the audio from the OBSBOT Tiny SE at about 4 feet away. And in the OBSBOT Control Center under audio, there are some different settings which we can take a look at in a moment. But essentially you have standard, close, and far, and this is at the far setting. Now if you were using it as a standard webcam attached to your monitor, this is what it sounds like close up. As far as mounting purposes, it comes with a standard 1/4-inch female mounting socket on the bottom of the camera, so you can use it on a tripod, which is how I intend to use it. It also has a magnetic base that attaches nicely to your desktop monitor if you're using it for more as a webcam for Zoom meetings, that type of thing. It's also compatible with multiple streaming platforms, but I specifically use OBS Studio. So normally I don't use the proprietary software that comes with any type of camera, but I'm going to be honest, I was actually impressed with the OBSBOT Center, and I've actually found a way to integrate it in with my OBS Studio. Let me show you. Okay, so we are in OBS Studio. This over here to the left is OBS Studio. This to the right is the OBSBOT Center software. I know it looks like it goes together, but it does not, but it works perfectly for me. So let me kind of just show you. I'm not going to do a full breakdown of OBS Studio. If you're not familiar with it, it is one of the most popular streaming and video capture software. I use it for recording all of my content before moving it over to the video editing software. The cool thing that I like about the OBSBOT OBS Studio, is that a coincidence? I don't know. So I want to show you how easily it integrates with these other streaming platforms. So if I go to the properties on my standard DJI and I want to configure video, I have very basic controls here. The DJI Osmo Pocket 3 only natively integrates a few controls here. If we look at the OBSBOT Tiny, without having to add any type of filters or additional plugins, again, I'm lazy. Natively, it has all of the color controls, brightness, saturation, sharpness. In addition to that, full control for zoom, focus, exposure, pan, tilt, roll. And this is all native without having to add any additional plugins in to support it. So first and foremost, love that. Okay, in addition to that, let's look at the actual OBSBOT Center. And I love how it has this little UI here that just kind of fits perfectly in with my workflow. Now, of course, if you were not using OBS Studio or a similar platform, you could just use the OBSBOT Center. If I pull up my display here, now it's not going to display the picture because it is currently utilizing OBS Studio. Otherwise, the video would display here. Let me close that out because I want to point out some of the features of the OBSBOT Center and why I keep it up when I'm using it. Starting from the top, you can manage multiple devices. If you were to have multiple OBSBOT streaming cameras, you can manage up to 4 right here. The main stuff that I use here under the console is the tracking features right here. We have standard motion, normal tracking, which is what we're on right now. Upper body, close up, headless, lower body. Here's the hand mode that I love so much. You can set up presets for the different views or angles that you've set up so that you can just automatically put those in here. You have full gimbal control right here. We can move the gimbal around, all that kind of fun stuff. I'm going to put this back on normal tracking. You can digital zoom from here. You can do wide, medium, or narrow angles, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, I love this reset button. If the gimbal gets out of whack or pointed in an odd direction, I just click reset and it takes it right back here to me. In addition to that, I know that I said that I love to use out-of-the-box settings because I'm lazy, but don't be me. You do have a full control here of your settings that you can come in here and make changes to. For example, white balance, contrast, all that good stuff. I keep all of this set to auto exposure. And then of course, they've got some more options here for your gesture controls. When I showed you earlier about the one hand zoom gesture, so that's set to a 2x zoom, but you can adjust that here. If we take a look up top here, we have the virtual camera, which you would use, for example, if you wanted to use this in conjunction with Zoom or Teams. You could make all of your image adjustments and stuff here, start your virtual camera, and then open up the virtual camera within Teams or Zoom. And of course, this is probably the section that I need the most but won't use. It's called Beauty. And of course, we start with our basic settings like blur. You can do the blur effect, blur out your background, retouch. So here are some basic filters that you can use: native, classic, man, or you can use some custom tone, smooth, clarify, slim. There are some more filters here for nature, fresh, clear, crystal. I don't use any of this kind of stuff, but it's definitely here if you need it. So under the beauty, of course, you got basic, tone, smooth. You can do face, eyes, eyebrows, nose, mouth. I'm not going to do any of this stuff, but you get the picture. It gives you a lot of features here that I typically only see in video editing software with AI. You can make body changes, slim your body down. I probably need to do that, but I'm okay with it. Makeup, it's not really my thing, but it might be yours. And there you have it, the all-new $99 OBSBOT Tiny SE AI-powered full HD PTZ webcam. If you've been putting off starting a YouTube channel because you thought you needed an expensive camera to get started, you don't. I'll put an affiliate link in the description if you want to pick it up. Do me a favor, if you found value in this video, please like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. Check out these suggested videos, and as always, thank you for watching, and until next time.